Yeah, I assume it was just like...
Welcome to Newsbag, where no news apparently is still news.
Hello, and a very warm welcome back to Newsbag. We're the team that looks at the headline and not really a lot else. Then we kind of read out the story for the first time on the podcast and see what it's all about. And it's normally a load of twaddle. Speaking of twaddle, I'm here with Jamie.
I would just like to say that I put a lot of effort and research into my story, so how dare you?
I wouldn't want to suggest otherwise.
I put minimum effort in.
Yeah.
Well, so happy with that description.
Well, you don't even have a story today, do you?
No, I love it when you're the judge. You don't... Oh, you have to find some headlines. That's the whole point of headlines, just read the headline. You get judged for that when you do it for your story, but...
Yeah, but you're the one judging us today, so...
Yeah. Got the bell?
Yeah, Hannah's on the bell. Loving it. I need to say, this episode's going out a little bit late, so sorry about that. We're recording it a couple of days late because we're just really busy, all right? We're busy people, and to be honest, you're lucky we've got around to know us at all, so...
You're welcome, actually.
No, we would like to do it earlier, but me and Hannah are getting married.
We are, soon.
It's only like 3 weeks. So things have taken a little bit of a busy turn.
Basically, we left like loads of stuff till the last minute, and now I've realised you have to do quite a lot to get married.
There is quite a lot involved, isn't there?
It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah. And Jamie as well. Started a new job, got a kid, and all that.
Yeah, started a new job back in September, so...
And a kid.
Had a kid a few years ago.
Yeah, had a kid a couple of years ago, so yeah, we're really busy.
So James got no excuse. You should really be used to that.
I am really busy, to be fair, photographing things.
Jamie's actually going back to work after we've recorded this.
Exactly.
So that's how busy life is.
Mm-hmm.
That's dedication, isn't it?
Big time.
I'm going to bed after this. Speaking of weddings, I had Mark send me a message and was like, I've heard that you'd like everyone to wear a grey suit. I was like, I think you might have got slightly the wrong idea. We don't expect everybody there, every guy, to have a grey suit on. Like, I
kind of wish... Well, I suppose to clarify, like, we've asked the groomsmen to wear grey suits, so Jamie would be in a grey suit. But I think the message has got out wrong. And I think we know the messenger. Yeah. I think it's Ben.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of a Chinese whispers thing. So Ben has told someone we won't name, and then Grace has told Mark. So something's happened along the line there.
I would just like to put out there that if you're listening to this and you're male, please come to the wedding in a grey suit.
No, don't.
Now I kind of wish we had done that. It might be actually quite good if everyone at the wedding was in a grey suit.
You chose people to wear grey suits.
Yeah, my groom's party of like 3 or 4 guys. Not every man there.
Yes, well...
But it's fine. If you're coming to the wedding, feel free to wear a grey suit if you want. Wear whatever you want, but don't feel obliged. That's what I'm saying.
Just ideally wear one.
No, just wear whatever you want.
Just wear something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Do you want to say about your dress?
Oh, yeah. I'm in Karma now, but so we've got about 3 weeks to go and tried my dress on.
Yeah, not for the first time.
Yeah, but I hadn't tried it on for ages. Wasn't quite right. Just panic brought a new dress. Well, not panic brought. I was actually quite calm. I was like, right, no, not right. Get my head straight, ordered a new dress, much better.
Just got.
I tend to work better under pressure, though. I tend to be good if there's a bit of a deadline. So I think maybe that was fate. I shouldn't have brought it that early anyway.
Well, you were happy with it when you bought it at the start, and then
still a nice dress, but it just doesn't fit right. Something didn't feel right when I had it on. So
that's fine. Times have changed. You've moved on. You're a different woman now.
To be fair, a lot of years ago, you wouldn't have been able to order a wedding dress and get it like the next day
it's online. Pretty crazy, isn't it? Pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is good. But you're happy with this one?
Happy.
Obviously, don't tell me too much about it because Yeah, cool. So I guess also the schedule for our next episodes might be a little bit off. We might be late for kind of maybe into mid-August. By then, we'll be married and we'll have nothing better to do.
Yeah, we'll be back. I mean, Jamie will still be like busy because of work and stuff, but.
Yeah, but you can't keep using that excuse. Like, we've all got jobs, mate.
I can over summer because very busy. So a lot of us are busy at work. That was true.
Do you want me to kick us off?
Kick us off, Han.
So, judge,
jury.
We are starting with round 1. Oh, you always make these little jokes at each other, and then when I look round, you're doing like weird.
I was going to, but then I saw Hannah was about to talk, so I didn't want to say it.
It was rude, exactly. That's why I did it. I was going to judge your execution about
Yeah, I
how
was about
Jamie.
to say it, but then
But
I felt rude.
All I
Well,
saw
it was
was
rude.
like you raise your eyebrows at each other all the time, and they're kind of like here, wait, and yeah, I always catch at that point. Anyway, round 1
Yep.
is the news game.
The thing with the news.
In a way, they're all the news game, aren't they?
Yeah, in a way.
This whole thing's a game.
But this is actually called the news game. We just stole it for our podcast. So Jamie has currently got a card in front of him, and it has a news story on, and he's going to be trying to convince me that this story is true. He's then going to pass the card to Chris, and Chris is going to be trying to convince me that this story is fake news. And then I'll see who I think's telling the truth.
You going to read it then, Jim?
Yep. Here I go.
Wait, let me brace myself.
Ooh.
Elderly man posted his letters in dog poo bin for 2 years.
Yeah.
Alf Spence, 91, always the age.
I think here, though, is kind of fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
It explains a lot.
Yeah.
Confused a red dog poo bin near his home for a mailbox and ended up posting letters in it for 2 years. It was only when a passerby spotted him and pointed out his error that he realised the extent of his mistake. At the time, he'd been spotted. He was posting his grandson's birthday card into the bin.
Oh, see, this is just making me sad.
Oh.
His grandson wasn't a dog, was it? Preferably a human.
He still would have got the
doesn't
card,
specify.
would he?
True. That is sad. You wonder if he's got some kind. Maybe all his faculties aren't there.
Yeah, blind.
Could be blind, yeah.
Well, he knows where to go. It's quite hard to. Yeah, you know where the slot is.
Yeah, but if you've got decent eyesight.
So was it a mailbox?
Posted his letter. Oh, no, it was a poo bin, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, but what did he? So we don't have mailboxes. Oh, unless you mean like a post box.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was thinking of you know what they have in America. Like every house has kind of a mailbox out on the road that you leave letters in.
Like a smaller one.
Oh, right, that makes more sense. Yeah. No, it's not real. It's a ridiculous story.
What,
it's
this fake story now makes more sense.
Didn't we also cover a story similar to this?
Part of me thinks, have we had this before?
We had
an actual story that one of us read.
That was
one
the
of
one
our
about in
stories.
his garden and he let it pile up.
No, there was a guy and there was a post box. There was a post box, and I think it was getting stuffed with dog poo.
The other way round.
Yeah, I think it was that we had before.
Oh, right, that's some kind of sick joke.
Yeah, so for me, this is plausible just because we had a very similar story.
Do you think it's revenge?
Yeah, maybe.
This old man, it was his letterbox.
See, I think Chris is in a hard position here because as soon as I listened to it, I was like, yeah, I can... You can see it. He couldn't see it. You can see it happening.
Yeah. I've got quite a good argument against it, though.
Go on then, shoot.
Right, poo box. It's got a picture of a dog taking a dump on it. Okay?
At 91, you're probably not noticing that.
Well, you notice it's red.
Yeah.
Also, you'd open the lid up and you go, oh, that stinks.
Probably hasn't got a great sense of smell at 91.
Yeah, I don't know how, like, what his illness is. It must be he must be fairly, like, not with it anymore for him. Also, though, like, his family must just think he's never not received a card of Grandad for years.
The people I'm annoyed with are the people that are emptying this poo bin.
That is such a good point.
That's
Actually,
a
it's
great
making me feel like it might not be true, because surely...
Talk yourself out of it.
No, I
surely
don't.
at some point they'd be like, oh, why is there another...
But how are you going to
here?
find this guy? Because it's very unlikely that those two people are going to meet at the same time. Have you ever seen someone empty a dog poo bin?
Wouldn't you put a little note on it and being like, oh...
But if he's not seeing the dog symbol, he's probably not seeing that, is he?
To whoever is putting letters in this bin, your family are very disappointed.
Also, they're probably opening it, seeing this £10 for like their grandson.
Did they get there to like get rid of it all, see the letter, and then just go and post this shit-covered letter in the post box?
Oh.
I was going to say, it is the better way round.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's very sad. What's his name? Albert?
Alf, isn't it?
Alf.
Alf.
It's very sad for Alf and his family, but it would be a lot worse for the rest of the community if it was the other way around.
Yeah. Very much so. God.
Okay. Hit the bell. She's made a judgment.
I don't want to think too much about the person finding the letters because that's freaking me out. I've got to go with my gut instinct on this because it was in the media. I think this is a true story.
So you're going with your gut and saying it's true?
Yeah.
Okay. Jamie, you've got the card. What is it?
Real.
Yes.
It is real.
I don't get a point, do I? I'm the judge.
You can give yourself a point. You are the judge.
Could do. Yeah, 1 point for me, 1 point for Jamie.
Oh, right. So already, you might as well do -1 to me.
But Chris, I feel like I don't know, there's something...
I'm going to turn it around.
You're something special today, so,
I've got a very
maybe
special...
me and Jamie might need the...
I've got a very special story. Yeah.
So, being as I feel like we're in for quite a treat today with stories, I've just got this feeling.
Oh.
I think we'll crack out the old snack bag.
Yeah, snack bag.
Every time I forget who you're supposed to be picking.
It's Jamie. Why don't you pick this out? Because I've got a special message. So while you're reaching into the bag, I'd just like to say today's snack bag is sponsored.
What?
No, it's not.
It is sponsored by Tentacle Pentacle, a World of Warcraft guild on the Silver Moon EU server.
That's so good.
Sponsored today's snack bag. So
who's that? What is it? Tentacle Pentacle?
Yeah, fantastic raiding guild for World of Warcraft. I've had a go myself. We've got a great sense of humour, and they do a good raid.
I'm actually amazed that we've been this is so exciting.
That's real, and because I actually gave Hannah some of the.
Yeah, she did give me £5 today and said there'll be a message on the thing. This is crazy. Snack bag is becoming the main feature today because I've got something else to say.
Have you?
Yeah. So
snack bag is sponsored.
Well, this is awkward.
So snacks in today's snack bag so normally I just go out and pick some snacks, right? But I have had some suggestions for the snack bag off Instagram from some of our listeners. So these snacks have been recommended by our listeners today. I didn't have to use them. Yeah, I didn't have to use my imagination. So we'll pick them out and then I'll tell you who.
Yeah. We don't need to be here, do we?
No,
this is the best snack bag.
This is the best bit.
I've done.
I might check the stats because I have a feeling people switch off after the snack bag's done.
Yeah.
My dad, when we went over there, did say it's all about the snack bag, didn't he? So that's why you're going to know your fans.
People tune out and then they hear snack bag. Oh, right, everyone, give it a listen.
Yeah, this has got better. We've been sponsored and we've got snacks recommended.
Yeah.
Right, Jamie, dig deep.
Yeah, he's digging deep. Why do you look concerned? Jamie's making these weird faces.
Yes, he's having a good feel of them today.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go for these.
Okay. No, okay, that's a classic. That's a classic.
Okay, so, it is a classic, but there's a twist.
Okay.
So, Jamie, what are you holding?
Quavers, but they're prawn cocktail flavour.
Is that
going to let that sink. Chris.
I've ruined it, haven't I?
Quavers are so they're normally they're always cheese.
Yeah, cheese.
Oh, right, yeah. So
I've had salt and vinegar quavers before.
Have you?
Yeah.
I'm genuinely quite excited about this because I love prawn cocktail crisps and I love quavers. So this was a suggestion from our lovely friend Kat. And when we actually went to see them the other day, she'd already suggested it. And when we went to see them the other day, she happened to have a bag and she snuck me a bag to put in because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to find them in the shop.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, do you want to open them up, Jamie? Let's give them a go.
Well, we go. Okay, so you're holding one kind of normal sized bag. Are we just going to reach forward?
Yeah, we're going to share them.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
We'll do that thing where we put them here.
They can't hear you talking because of all the bag
Thanks
stuff.
for your suggestion, Kat. I already think I'm going to like them.
Oh, right. You made something.
Look at that.
You made a shape.
So good. I'm going to try one.
Jamie's made it stand upright.
I'm going to grab a couple so I don't make a noise next time.
Can I? You might have to pass. Can you pass me some? He moved it, but didn't. Okay, cheers.
That's actually really good. I'm happy with that.
Oh, it's good.
Prawn cocktail might be my favourite flavour crisp.
It is good. Probably second place for me, though.
Salt vinegar.
Salt and vinegar.
Yeah, me too.
I like salt and vinegar, but it's never my top. Mine's between this and cheese and onion. Okay. Excellent snack.
Does that mean I have to stop chewing?
Oh, yeah, but I kind of want to carry on.
Yeah.
I wish you could mute your mic on Teams. We can't mute our mic when we're on a podcast.
Or just mute other people's mics. Every time Jamie opens his mouth.
Jamie was quiet that episode.
That was the best episode ever.
Okay, so round 2.
On to round 2.
Round 2, which is local stories. So Jamie and Chris are both going to give me a story. I'm just going to judge it in whatever way I feel like judging it. And my favourite story gets a point.
Yeah, it's going to be the story with the most dogs in it.
Well, you know what I like, so you can play up to that, right? If you both know if you pick a story about dogs or charity shops, then you're going to win. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember that for next time. Jamie, hit me with your story.
Lost dog found in charity shop.
He's really played the game.
Winner!
Damn it! Nice, go on. We did do what was it? Someone put a bomb in a charity shop. Wasn't that one of our very first?
That sounds like one of your stories where you brought it and not judged the tone.
Right, yeah. And in the end it turned out...
You've read the headline, Explosive Time at a Charity Shop, and you've read it. Small business distraught.
Owner bankrupt. Destitute. Sorry, go on.
I feel like I just need to say beforehand that I would like to read most of this
we can read
with a
all of
Norfolk
it.
accent.
Right.
From the point of view of the person that seems to be speaking in most of this. Okay, so I'm going to say the headline.
So you're entering into a character.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, we're meant to be representing Norfolk, and none of us know anything about it or can do the accent or anything.
You should have...
Born and
What do
bred,
you
so-
do a Norfolk accent? Like, you should have one, but you just don't.
Well, I do a little bit, but I'll try and put it on a bit more.
All right.
Why is a tank driving down a Norwich street?
Is that the headline? Why is it? Is it speech
Why
marks?
is a tank driving down a Norwich street?
So,
No speech marks, but I feel like they've taken that from somebody.
that isn't a note to the journalist that they forgot to edit out.
That is a rubbish headline.
I mean, I'm wondering the same thing now, though. So it's done its job.
I'm hooked.
Why is there a tank? Well, first of all, is there a tank, Jamie?
Well,
You
wait.
God.
People could not believe their eyes when a tank rolled down their street in Norwich.
rolled down, suggesting it's not driven. All right.
I don't know if it's because it's on tracks, or they tried to say
Okay.
maybe. Karen Gaffney came out of her home on Sunday lunchtime after hearing a loud sound on Belsize Road.
It wasn't someone shouting, don't put that letter in there, it's not a postbox.
No, because that's from 2011. I don't go that far back.
So she...
she went out because there was a loud sound, only to see a tank covered in purple flowers moving through the street.
All right.
Do you want to see it?
I'd love to see it, yeah. Can we see
Now
that?
I'm worried it's going to be like a funeral thing. Like what Prince Philip was in a tank, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, no, we did have some kind of... to honour his... Okay, so that was a picture of, like a tank. Do you know what? Half of me was expecting like a fish tank.
Or a toy tank, like a toy.
Or a tiny, like 2-inch tall. But no, okay, fair enough. Tank covered in purple flowers.
The Norwich resident said she had no idea where the tank had come from beforehand, or where it ended up. But she shared a photo on Twitter. So this is a classic. EDP have taken a tweet.
Oh, yeah.
And they've turned it into a news story.
And they've got nothing to add, have they?
Slow news day.
Slow news day.
Also, before you carry on, Jamie, and there might be more, so at first I was like, oh yeah, that is a bit weird. But actually, I'm pretty sure I've seen a tank driving past before. I don't feel like it's that unusual.
Have you? Have you actually seen a tank before?
I'm sure. Maybe I'm getting
But on like
confused.
actual residential roads rather
Make
than
that true.
like, maybe on a motorway you might.
True. Yeah, it wasn't a motorway. Carry on.
None of them in Norfolk, famously.
Yeah, it's definitely not one of them.
I'm just trying to get my Norfolk accent in my head.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So she said, it's a terrace street with cars parked on both sides. There was not a lot of wriggle room. I do not know where it was going, what it was doing. What is it doing in a terrace street?
The word terrace has been used twice.
That's so good.
I've got to get it in there.
She has a lot of questions.
It's the most exciting thing in the street for a while.
I can't believe that.
We have been all in lockdown as well, so that is a bit of excitement.
Yeah. Most exciting thing since was it the shed on wheels?
It's
we
like
had.
shed on wheels.
Probably the same guy.
Oh, might be this is just the next one up.
Someone was making sure it was not going to hit any vehicles. It was very loud, and that's what drew my attention.
What noise do they make? Just a kind of rolling...
Yeah, I assume it was just like...
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just not a very, interested person. So
Right.
I just feel like I look out the window and be like,
that's
she
very
asks
weird.
herself a lot of questions, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's really curious.
Yeah.
And that accent.
So I want to say the last line again, because it makes the next line even better.
Yeah.
It was very loud, and that's what drew my attention. It was very loud and very slow.
Was that her tweet, or was this her being interviewed after?
I'd imagine this is her being like their direct message to her on
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah, oh, good, look into this.
Oh, I can't miss this story.
It's just a tank going down the road.
It's a tank going, well, is it a tank?
Well, you sent me a photo, and it looked like a...
My partner said it is an armoured personnel carrier,
Oh,
but
yeah.
to an office, that's a tank.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate him.
Yeah. Actually, Mildred, that's an APC, but we'll let it go.
People do stuff like that, you're just like...
Get over it, you... Go give me some post.
So that's the end of the story. That is
What are you
the
doing?
story.
No, right, you
That is
can't.
the story.
No, you can't do
There's
this.
no more.
I need to remind you guys why we started this.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
It wasn't to try and win a point. It was to talk about ridiculous stories in our local area.
That is a fair point.
The fact that this is a story.
That's true.
So it ended on that bit about him saying, it's not.
Yeah, recently we've been giving journalists kind of credit, almost.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to remind people that some journalists are extremely lazy.
But like, that's so lazy. He didn't, like, they didn't even think, I said here, it could have been a shoe. But they didn't even think to round it up with, like, another sentence. Just round, at least put a bit of it thought in.
Maybe try and find out where this tank has come from, because I'm pretty sure someone in the comments has found out, and you can rent the tank, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hire it.
Is that what someone had done? Rented a tank and drove it around Norwich?
A bit like you've got pint and paddle.
Yeah.
You can get tank and water.
Yeah. Don't.
Oh. Is that actually the story before I press the bell?
Can I just give you a comment of the story?
Yes. I was hoping there was one.
Yeah.
This is from Boris.
Oh, yeah.
Bojo.
Well, for starters, it's not a tank. And
Is that the husband?
And then, responsible parent says, keep up. And then a fine city says, did you read to the end? I'm surprised I didn't read to the end, because there's only about 4 lines.
Even we could be bothered to read to the end of that one. That's how short it was, is that you read to the end of the story.
Do you know what we've done is we've just played headlines early.
Basically,
There's nothing there.
Woman sees what? No, what was the headline? Why is tank?
Why is there a
Why
blank?
is a tank driving down a Norwich street?
They've actually not even bothered to think of their own headline. They've just taken part of her tweet for the headline.
Yeah. Hopefully she sues her, because that tweet we had, intellectual property, has been stolen.
Do you know what? I've kind of loved that. It has taken us back to our roots of just a really rubbish story.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. Also, why have they painted purple flowers in? That's not been explained.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So many questions.
There's so many questions.
Yeah.
I feel like we need the catchphrase. James' catchphrase is, you're not going to get what you want out of this.
That's when you know it's going to be a good one. You're not going to get what you want. I enjoyed that. Thanks, Jamie.
No worries.
I'm just going to mull that around my head whilst we head over to Chris.
Yep. Shoot. Yeah, my story. I'm going to blow your mind because this, ladies and gentlemen, is a world exclusive.
What?
Okay.
A world exclusive.
It's so world exclusive. There isn't even a headline for me to read out, so I'm going to make one up now. Like a bull in a china shop. Bull charges around campsite. Somebody actually contacted the show.
Yeah.
And because they thought this was the best medium. So, yeah, it happened in Norfolk. He was on a visit here.
Oh, my God.
And this happened here. And his first thought was, Newsbag, perfect place to kind of get the story out. It's not in any of the papers. I checked. This is world exclusive. So what I'm going to do now is play you an interview I conducted with Clive from Hertfordshire.
Oh, this is so good. Oh, my God, this is well exciting.
Well, hello, Clive.
Hello there. Glad to be on the show.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for getting in touch. I understand this is probably quite a difficult topic to talk about.
Well, it's not so bad now. I think I'm over the traumatisation of it, but it wasn't pleasant at the time.
No, it definitely doesn't sound it. Yeah, and of course this is only last week, so it's quite a good recovery.
It's not long ago at all. Yes, just a few days.
Yeah. Well, I think why don't you tell us what happened then? Because I don't want you putting words in your mouth. Obviously, you were there firsthand, and this is the only account I believe that.
It is the only account
in the world.
It is it's a world exclusive for you. Absolutely.
I can't believe I look.
I might forget details along the way, so just prompt me or ask me sort of questions. But last week, friend and I were up at a little farm campsite up near Holcombe Beach, near Wells, next to the sea.
Absolutely, yeah, Norfolk, not far from us.
That's absolutely right. Lovely place, Norfolk. Yeah. Love it. And anyway, we came up there just for a few days, long weekend away, and a friend and I were lazing around on the campsite. You know, might have had a can of beer around, I can't remember offhand.
Yeah.
And just reminiscing about things because we don't see each other very often. And the farmer's daughter came driving up through the campsite in her golf buggy, and she was shouting out to everyone, "Get in your cars! Get in your cars!"
Blimey, pretty scary.
Well,
Presumably they weren't
Yes,
doing...
at that point it was just puzzling, not scary. But,
you didn't say, well, yeah, they might be putting on some kind of open-air cinema.
well,
and you should be in your...
which is interesting because that's exactly what they did on Saturday night for the football the night before. So it's funny you should say that.
So you're, there's a football match. I didn't realise that was going on.
So anyway, she sort of came up near us, and the people in the tent next to her said, "Well, what's going on?"
Yeah.
Which is where the story started unfolding, and she told us, "Well, there's a 1.5 ton bull that had got out of the neighbour's farm and had been sort of marauding, if you like, through the farmers." Fields which are full of horses and things, and it had got into the courtyard at the bottom of the campsite.
Oh, that is scary.
Yeah. Well, it was scary because apparently they've been trying to round the bull up since about 5 a.m.
Oh, right.
And there's not much you can do when a 1.5 ton bull doesn't want to do what you want it to do.
No, I can imagine it gets its own way, doesn't it?
It gets its own way, absolutely.
So you were on a campsite. You're not on a farm, so you mentioned the farmer's daughter. You're not just trespassing on some farm.
No, we weren't. It was a campsite on the farmer's
Okay, that's
farm.
right. A kind of Airbnb for tents.
Very Airbnb, yes.
Bull and bull. So this bull had been loose. So they knew it had been loose since 5 in the morning.
Yes. It got out very early in the morning, and
Didn't bother to tell anyone until...
well, they did because they'd got the police and all sorts of people out to try and round this bull up, and all they actually managed to do to this poor bull was piss it off. Which isn't really something you want to do to a 1.5 ton bull.
That's the opposite. But yeah, police with sirens.
Not that I heard. Probably,
Flashing lights.
So I would imagine they had maybe not the blues and twos, but at least the blues.
Yeah, get the blues out. Yeah.
Going, but they'd tried to sort of corral it and move it, and all that ended up with was a couple of very damaged police cars, and apparently somebody's caravan it took a dislike to as well.
Oh, it's ramming them, charging them.
Well, yes, indeed.
That's scary, isn't it?
So it was an angry bull. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
They might try and corner it, but it does nothing because it just walks through gates, fences, and hedges. It really doesn't care whether they're there or not. So the fact that this bull was literally at the end of our campsite and there was just one metal gate between it and us suddenly became very scary.
Yeah, because that might as well be made of paper clips.
Absolutely.
If this bull wants to charge into your campsite and come at your tent and stuff.
Yeah.
But of course, sorry, go on.
Well, that was when the story sort of unfolded, and then and then the girl came up to us, me and Andy, and said, "Get in your car, get in your car."
Yeah.
So we kind of just looked at her. Because between her and us were our gleaming Harley Davidsons. And she suddenly realised, oh shit, you haven't got a car, have you?
Of course you're not.
No, we haven't.
Of course you're on a motorbiking trip, weren't you? Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's it, you're done for, there's nowhere to...
Well, there was no apparent escape or whatever.
Gosh.
So anyway, I was sort of looking around quite frantically, and just on the other side of the field, there's a barn with a big old solid farm trailer. So, Andy and I looked at it and legged it.
Made a break for it.
And climbed into this trailer. So...
yeah. Okay,
so she was fairly happy with that and went off to warn all the other happy campers about it.
Yeah, presumably they all had cars, so you didn't have to share
cars or camper vans,
something to hide in.
Something that certainly wouldn't stop the bull, but it's a visual deterrent, and you can hide.
Yeah, exactly.
Hide in them, but
it's motion, isn't it? Famously, I think.
I believe so.
They're like motions.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they took all their kind of red curtains down from their cars and tents and stuff. Right, so you're hitting the trailer. Bull's charging around. What happens next?
Well, quite a while later, the same girl came up, and there were some other sort of not farm hands, but farmers and
Workers.
people that were from the farm we were staying on and the farm that the bull had escaped from. And I managed to get down towards the end of the field to have a chat with them, and they'd closed the gate into the field, and they had managed somehow to sort of corral the bull into a small courtyard.
Okay, that sounds impressive.
Which was between the campsite and the toilets. So you had to go past it to get to the loo. But at that stage, they wouldn't even let us out of the field.
Tell you what, you would definitely need the loo if you saw that.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so they're going to manage the situation then?
Yes, it sort of looked like it, but they'd had to block the two entrances into this little courtyard off with very large, solid-looking trailers. You know, they're about 8 foot tall, 12 foot long, used for transporting horses. But of course, when you look at these trailers, they're actually made of thin aluminium.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Yeah.
So it was purely another visual deterrent.
Yeah, they wouldn't do anything.
But there was debate going on whether or not just to shoot the bull on sight.
Ah,
you know, and
for safety of the.
Well, yes, because if
right.
it had got into the camping field,
yeah, exactly.
it would have been quite messy.
Yeah, that would have been really bad, wouldn't it?
So
shoot it with something lethal or like a kind of trank or taser.
One of the lads suggested a tranquilizer, and he was just laughed at. So
Yeah, okay.
No,
Probably worked,
it was thoughts of fresh steak for the night.
Oh, right,
But,
okay.
But anyway, they managed to sort of get it corralled, and they sort of hung around, and it did start to settle down.
Okay.
So, against the farmers' wishes, they decided that they would leave it there for the night.
Okay.
So, which isn't really conducive to a good night's sleep when you know there's a bull a few yards away that...
Yeah, that could at any moment. I guess it's between that and risking. If you've got it calmed down, maybe leave it where it is.
Yes.
But if you trust it, it's going to stay like that, rather than kind of walk it away. And then, seeing everyone.
That's what they couldn't really risk.
Judgment call, isn't it?
Yes, and who's got the loudest voice? But they'd have had the police involved still, and all this sort of thing.
Yeah, gosh.
So
yeah. Kept
So
it there overnight.
in the end, it was 5 o'clock the next morning. They brought another big trailer over from the farm, and they managed to manoeuvre that. And somehow they got the bull into it. So the thing had obviously calmed down overnight. But they got the bull into the trailer.
Impressive.
And off it went to everybody's relief.
A cheer.
Yeah.
It's probably a job, that, isn't it? You kind of have a bomb diffuser. Your specialist team comes in. Maybe you have bull
That's right.
trailers kind of thing. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad that one ended well.
So one thing that could save people's lives, actually, the farmer was saying that bulls don't like being clapped at.
Right.
So basically, if you get charged at by a bull, stand your ground and clap.
Okay. Okay. Is that you faithful in this method? So if the bull charging at you, I'm supposed to stay here,
Yep.
stare it down, clap my hands.
Stare it down and clap your hands.
Clap my hands.
Big motion with your hands, not just a little, but a huge bang clap that just scared the thing off.
Okay. No, the louder the better, presumably.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it thinks, oh, what's this? I didn't bargain for this noise.
Well, it's got to be able to hear the clap above its own snorting and stomping. So yeah,
I
quite
suppose so.
loud.
Okay, that is a good tip, actually. I'll remember that next time I go camping in Wales.
Yep.
Well, that's great. I mean, that must be terrifying. Just imagine this. Just see this big foaming bull, angry.
Well, that's absolutely right. I mean, it was terrifying, but I didn't actually see it because they had it under control.
You what?
Well, I didn't actually see the bull because it didn't get into our field.
You didn't see it?
No, I didn't physically. My friend saw it. It saw its nose sticking out the trailer at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, right. Saw its nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was definitely a bull, though.
It was. Oh, it was definitely a bull.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
so you can't describe kind of how big and angry it.
Well, it was 1.5 tons, but apparently one of the problems was that the bull didn't have a ring in its nose, which it should do, so they couldn't sort of catch it by the nose and lead it.
Oh, right. Is that what they're for?
Yes.
Pull around. Oh,
That's
right.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, but they couldn't do that, so that just made the problem.
You seem to know a lot about the bull, given that you didn't actually you never saw it. You kind of just hid in a trailer the whole time.
Well, I know what a bull looks like, and I talk to farmers who control bulls, or at least they try to control them. It's their livelihood.
Well, yeah.
So
I guess they need. Maybe this has come up before. This bull's got this.
Apparently, it has, but this particular one, apparently the farmer responsible for the bull had built a pen for it out of straw bales.
Right.
So it's never going to end well, is it?
No, that doesn't seem the best. Amazing. Well, they can't really be surprised that it got out.
Precisely.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That was.
You're very welcome. I'm very glad to share this with the good people of Norfolk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, this is we've got to get this out because, as you say, it's not made the press. I might add a little bit about maybe just pretend that you saw it. I don't know. Come back and ask you to give some kind of visual.
Oh, well, you're the professional, whatever you think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it might have something like that. But yeah, no, thanks, Dad.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, son. That was a good interview.
Yeah, cheers. Nice.
Wow, that was, to be fair, that is a first. So, a couple of comments. A couple of things I enjoyed.
You're speechless.
I'm speechless. But also, obviously, it was your dad, which is amazing.
Yeah, my dad, yeah. He came, listens to the shows.
And it was like my thought of, I feel like you had the experience that the journalists that we often take the mick out of had, where like you're waiting, you think it's a good story, and then you go interview the person, you realise they've not seen.
Yeah, you wish you hadn't.
And then they have to make a story of it.
Yeah, because they've already they've committed, haven't they?
So you've almost proven that it's really hard to come up with a good story.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, my dad was shaken up. Let's not minimise
Yeah. To be fair, can I just say, does Clive respond well to claps like the
Yeah.
I mean, is that, what, a professional interviewee?
That was great, wasn't it? Yeah.
My favourite bit was very Airbnb.
Me too, I still don't know what it meant.
Very Airbnb.
That was amazing. How did it feel, Chris, to have your first actual interview?
Oh, it was amazing, yeah. Incredible.
I do feel like incredible. I feel like your dad deserves a point there.
It's funny you should say that, Jamie.
What? Well, he does, but hang on. No, don't push the button because I deserve. He wouldn't have it unless it was me. Don't push the button.
So, I think we'll all agree we've been blown away today.
Yep.
And I think Jamie would agree that he probably doesn't deserve the point today.
Correct.
So I think we all know that the point is going to Clive. Woo! Well done, Clive. Your story, Clive's got a point. Can we put him on the leaderboard?
That's fine.
Can we get Clive on there?
That's another world first. First point awarded to a member of the podcast crew, but he's deserved it, definitely.
He definitely deserves
it.
The detail on the. I mean, I was actually scared thinking about the ball being.
Yeah. I know he definitely was there because he sent me some photos while he was there saying there's a ball charging around. It was photos of a field because he never saw the ball.
It also had all the twists and turns of like.
Yeah.
I actually felt like I was there.
Yeah.
It was a great account.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I mean, Jamie, your story was good and it took us back to some of our roots. But I feel like what's happened is Jamie took us into the past with our like why we were starting the podcast. Clive and Chris took us into the future there with what Clive, you can expect from Newsbag in the future. Yeah. Real life news. So before we go into round 3, I'm very excited to say that we have some Your Bag.
Ooh, have we? Yeah. I've got a bit too, but
have you? Yeah. Amazing. Your Bag's getting really full. So this is why our listeners are sending us their own stories.
I've got a Your Bag.
Have you?
Yeah, what? I actually do.
Should we do one each?
Oh wow, yeah, okay.
Okay, so Your Bag. The first one comes from Ruby, my very good friend in Sheffield. I need to stop saying that we know the people that are writing it.
Yeah.
But that is all that listens to the podcast. So I'm going to read you a bit of the story and then I'm going to show you the picture and I'll put this on Instagram because it's all about the picture. A neighbourly dispute became a war, in inverted commas, after a homeowner cut a tree between their drives in half. Bharat Mystery said his next door neighbour of 28 years had complained of nesting pigeons dirtying his side of the divide in Sheffield. The two tried to reach an amicable solution over the intruding tree, and this is what happened. So I'm going to show Jamie first.
Okay. Jamie looks scared. This
is a serious war. He actually just cut the tree in half.
That's ridiculous. He's cut it straight down so the leaves just stop.
It looks like a sort of home insurance
Yeah.
poster or something. Doesn't it?
does, yeah.
So good. It looks like it's been photoshopped.
Yeah.
And that was in Sheffield, where Ruby lives, and it made BBC News. So
Did it?
excellent news like that. And I will share that picture on Instagram.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I got Matt Hayward, long-time listener Matt Hayward, has sent in a story.
There's a pigeon race.
9,000 pigeons set off from, was it Peterborough,
I think, and only half of them turned up, and they've no idea. The others just vanished. I think it's something to do with the magnetic fields, but
The vanishing pigeons.
About 5,000 pigeons
just vanished.
It's had a mystery for a while.
Yeah,
That's haunted me a bit. That and the ball. I'm not sleeping tonight after
I know.
terror.
This is terrifying.
Thanks, Matt. That's a great story.
Matt, if you want a point, give us the next. If they find out where the pigeons have gone, send us in an update.
Yeah. Mine is from Bertie Neve,
Okay.
who just so happens to be my granddad. He was scrolling on Facebook, and when I saw him, he went, "Jamie, I was on Facebook, and I just keep seeing a picture of you and this guy and this girl. I was like, what is it?"
The mystery.
And I was like, "Well, Grandad, that's me sharing a post of my podcast." And he went, "Oh," and he just walked off. I don't think he knows what a podcast is.
No.
Should we get Bertie on?
Can we get him on, Bertie Neve?
Yeah. I have to edit it quite a lot, but
He doesn't know. What do we say? Oh, Bertie Neve, would you like to come onto our podcast?
to be fair, his Facebook statuses are normally just what's happening in the news.
He's supposed to have perfect to get his material for him.
He should be our correspondent.
Yes.
Bertie and Clive. Should we
yeah.
just all go and Bertie and Clive could
We
do
don't
it?
need to be here. All they need to do is come on, have some snack bag,
Yeah.
And just
I can
talk
still
about-
put the snack bag out if you want. If it's easy for him.
leave it out. Yeah.
So good. That's a great... I mean, I like the fact that your bag is taken off.
Yeah.
That's good. Right.
Uh,
We've reached that time where it is
what are you doing?
round 3. What's happened to me?
You've lost it. You've lost.
Round 3.
Yeah.
Headlines.
Dun, 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 dun.
Boom.
So we all know by now how this wonderful game works. I am going to read out a headline. I'm going to miss out a word, and I want you both to guess what the missing word is.
Yeah.
Maverick painter swaps screwdriver for blank.
Paintbrush.
No.
The hammer.
No.
Stick.
No.
Toothbrush.
No.
Slipper.
Hand puppet.
One more guess.
Canvas.
Microphone.
He was so excited that was right. Maverick painter sort of screwdriver for vegetable. So there's a painter, and he normally is a bit quirky and uses a screwdriver for his paintings, and now he's using a carrot.
I hate
Be orange if you like orange paintings. Then great idea.
Right, number 2. Amazing things blank has given the world.
God.
No,
it. Puppet Man.
no,
The Romans.
no, also true.
Delia Smith.
No,
Newsbag.
no. It's even better than Newsbag.
EDP.
Burton-on-Trent.
Was it?
Amazing things Burton-on-Trent, my hometown, has given the world. And what I would say is the little subtitle is just says, from Marmite to Branston Pickle, 2 foods.
That's all it is.
That's what I
Yeah.
was have given them.
Quite similar as well.
Marmite and beer.
Very similar.
And the best thing to come out of Burton is sitting right here.
No, from Norwich.
Headline 3. No one's got a point yet in headlines.
No.
Oh,
Queen.
so we're all tying with Clive.
Yeah,
we're not all.
Clive got 2
all-
points.
We're not all tied with Clive.
Clive got 2 points. Clive's winning.
Did he give him 2?
Yeah.
And I've got 1. And you've got none.
And I've got 1.
Why not
Yeah.
everyone?
And Heather's got 1.
Oh yeah.
Clive got your points.
Yeah.
The Queen insists on borrowing ceremonial sword to what? With Kate spotted laughing.
Cut her hair.
No.
Cut the cake.
Yes.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, but
Did I say cut?
no, you didn't.
No.
I said.
I thought you said
He
cut.
copied me. I said
Because
cut
it's
your
a
hair.
sword.
Yeah. Cut the cake. No, fair enough. Yeah. Cut the cake. What? It's just.
There's a photo where Kate Middleton and Camilla were amused to see the Queen slice a huge cake at the Eden Project in Cornwall, and she demanded that she used to, in a jokey way, she's not an awful person, quite a nice lady. She demanded that she use the ceremonial sword to cut the cake, and there's just a picture of the Queen with a big sword. It's not local.
I think I saw that actually. A photo of with the.
Oh, you
things
saw
behind
it. You still didn't get it.
He said
Ignored
cut.
it.
Can I just say this episode of Newsbag? So firstly, can I say well done to Clive because he's won.
Yeah.
Me and Jamie Kate joint second.
Hang on. I just got the last headline, so.
Yeah, actually, sorry.
Joint first place, actually.
Jamie and Clive have come first. We have had some firsts today. So
Yeah.
we've had a sponsored news bag.
Yeah.
We've had news bag snacks recommended and one of them donated by a by our listeners.
Yeah.
Not friends, listeners.
Yeah.
And we've had our first live interview.
Yeah.
Had the first points awarded to someone not on the podcast.
Incredible, isn't it?
Very good.
And a throbbing bag of your news
Oh yeah.
as well.
And with a new possible listener in Bertie, but probably not.
If you can get it working,
Yeah. Well, help him.
That's not genuine.
like I say, he walked off.
He's not interested, is he?
Doesn't care.
It's that podcast. No, he knows exactly what it is, and he's not interested. Wow. Well, I think we've come to the end of this episode. If you've enjoyed this, why don't you tell a friend about the podcast and see if they want to. Don't laugh.
But no, don't tell your granddad. You won't care.
Yeah. Tell a friend and make sure you're subscribed to us. We're on YouTube and Instagram. And I'll tell you what, our Instagram is hand putting all kinds of gold out on there, aren't you?
I do it like for one day, then I forget, and then a few weeks later I do it another day. So yeah, it's hit and miss.
Keep you guessing.
Yeah.
Exactly. On your toes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And thank you everyone for listening. Our news bag is empty. See you next week.
Bye.